Beginners often ask when they should start crafting dual lands and which they should craft first, as well as what options the different color combination brings. However, before exploring the rare lands, there are 3 points I want to go over. First, I believe before you start using wildcards to craft 4 different dual lands for your secret deck tech idea, you should first complete or close to complete a deck that will allow you to grind your daily wins without causing Merfolk PTSD. Make sure that the first deck you complete fits your playstyle and don't just craft a deck because it came top 8 in a tournament, because after spending your first wildcards, getting more will be a very slow process. Second, there's nothing wrong with using Gates and M19 dual lands as a beginner. No, they are nowhere near as good as rare check lands and pain lands. However, unlike the rare lands, they do not screw up your matchmaking, which leads into the third point. Rare lands will push your deck's power level a lot higher in the matchmaker, and you will see a spike in the power level in your opponent's decks when you start including a lot of rare lands. Which means if the first thing you do is craft 8 rare lands and include them in a starter deck thinking it will fix your mana issues, you will suffer from Merfolk PTSD, Red Deck Win PTSD and Bird PTSD before the end of the hour. If you are unaware about how the matchmaker works, go and watch my other video about the matchmaking. To summarize it, all cards have a hidden power level depending on how often people craft them, so a starter deck will never be able to meet a full tier 1 deck with 30 rares and 14 mythic cards. Do note this applies only to the free to play area, not to the paid events, so don't bring your starter deck into a paid event thinking you will meet only other starter decks. You'll be sadly mistaken. Now let's get to the video. Let's start with Relational Fortress. This is mainly for control decks. At the moment there aren't really any good blue-white artifact decks or any other kind of decks really. Now I'm trying to make a artifact deck myself, and let's put it this way, it's not tier 1, not even close. Now Isolated Chapel is really good. It gives access to vampires, to black-white control, and obviously if you play 3 color control as well. And you can play some black-white knights as well. It's a really good card. It gives you a lot of options. Then we have Drowned Catacombs. It is okay. It's mainly if you want to play Dimir discard or Dimir with Surveil. But outside of that, there are not that many options. You can try to run artifacts. I'm trying to do that as well, but as I said with the white-blue, it's not reliable. So unless you really want to play Dimir, which a lot of people do want to play at the moment, I would skip this one. Watergrave, same thing. Next up we have Steam Vents and Sulphur's Fall. Now this is of course 2 great cards. They give you access to wizards, to Red Wizard, which is basically a red deck win burn with a bit of blue in it sometimes. It gives you access to the Drakes. And of course it's another combo piece in the standard control deck at the moment, because you're running Deafening Clarion and usually you're running 3 of them or more. Overall, this is a really good card at the moment. It gives you loads of decks you can make, and this is one I would highly recommend. Then we have Dragonskull Summit. This is a combination you can probably skip. Outside of the starter decks, I haven't seen really anyone play this combination at all. There are just not enough good cards to support a black-red plan, at the moment at least, because most of the good ones rotated out a few months ago. Next up we have Woodland Cemetery and Overgrown Tomb. This is a very popular combination at the moment. It gives you access to the whole Explore package. It gives you access to, well, massive removal. It gives you Assassin's Trophy, one of the best removal in standard right now. Actually, it is the best one because you can target anything outside of a dino. So this one is another one that I highly recommend. And let's move on to Rootboom Crag. Now this one is meh. If you want to play dinos, you should pick this up. Problem is, there are almost no dinos left in the format. Well, there are still a few, but so far I don't think I met a dino outside of starter decks. Then we have Clifftop Retreat together with Sacred Foundry. Now this is another popular combo. It gives you the red-white aggro, which is really good at the moment. And of course, it gives you access to Deafening Clarion, which is a staple now in the control deck, so this also gives you another staple for the control decks. And yes, I'm aware if you're running the control deck at the moment, you are running, let me see, you're running how many lands, how many rare lands? 8, 16, well, almost your entire deck is rare lands. So yeah, if you want to make control deck, it's gonna get expensive. And let's not forget Sumpital Grove and Temple Garden. Now this is mainly for tokens, explore, and knights. Now you can do some fun stuff with elves and enchantments as well, but these are the two major things people are using them for at the moment. And let's not forget Hinterland Harbor, because you are playing Merfolk. And no one likes Merfolk players, they are worse than control players.
Wait, I am a control player.
Anyway, this is mainly for Merfolk. Yes, you can run some fun combo decks, but mainly just for Merfolk, really. And that concludes today's video. Now, obviously, in the next set, we are gonna get the remaining Pain lands. Yes, we're gonna get even more rare lands to collect. So I will leave you with that happy thought, and I'll talk to you next time.